They walk into office broke and leave as millionaires. You're reading the news while they're busy following the money. Headlines warn of a crash. They've already cashed out. Welcome to Capitol Hill, where insider trading isn't just a rumor, it's practically a sport. So picture this. A senator steps out of a classified briefing. No cameras, no press. They pull out their phone, and a few hours later, $1 million in stocks are sold. The next day, the market drops. You lose, they win. You're stuck with a margin call, and they're walking away with a smile. Ever wondered how some politicians start their careers with modest savings and end up wealthier than hedge fund managers? They are not building startups or writing the next bestseller. Nope, their wealth grows quietly, thanks to a game you can't play. The one where they make the rules, while you're out here carefully diversifying your portfolio, dollar cost averaging, and waiting patiently for your returns. Some members of Congress seem to have a sixth sense for picking the perfect stocks. They buy right before a bill passes, just before a company lands a government contract, or right before the market tanks. Coincidence? Hardly. This isn't some wild conspiracy. It's a pattern we see over and over again. Just in 2023, lawmakers made over 12,700 trades. More than half of Congress still owns individual stocks, while voting on legislation that can directly affect their portfolios. The more you dig into it, the clearer it becomes. Insider trading in politics isn't just a rare scandal. It's a built-in problem. Legal loopholes make it easy. It's insanely profitable. And the people benefiting the most are the ones controlling the system. In this video, we are breaking it all down. How it actually works. We'll look at specific trades by US lawmakers, the loopholes they use, and why attempts like the Stock Act have completely failed. And of course, the big question every retail trader wants to know: how do politicians always stay one step ahead of the market? Let's pull back the curtain on this fair playing field. How it works. The political trader's playbook. It's a surprisingly simple process. Really, get the intel, a closed-door meeting, a classified update, or an economic projection. You name it. Make the trade. Sometimes it's not even in their own name. Spouses, trusts, or family members handle it. File late, or not at all. If they get caught, a $200 fine. That's not punishment. That's pocket change. Let's be real. This isn't accountability. It's a system rigged to benefit the few who know how to play the game. Imagine if a hedge fund pulled something like this. It would be called front running. In Congress though, just another Tuesday. Why do politicians get away with it? Let's talk about how lawmakers use insider knowledge to make money. They've got access to stuff we don't. Market moving info, classified briefings, economic forecasts, and early drafts of legislation that can make or break entire industries. If someone on Wall Street acted on this kind of intel, they would probably end up in court. But politicians, they get a pass. What's illegal in the private sector is shrugged off in DC as well-timed investing. Here's an example. Right at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, while Americans were being told not to worry, senators said in classified briefings about the virus's real impact. A few days later, some of them dumped airline and hotel stocks and bought shares in pharma companies and remote work tech. While the rest of us were in the dark, they knew and they acted. You follow the rules, SEC filings, careful risk management, disciplined strategy, but politicians, they make the rules behind closed doors with zero accountability. On Wall Street, we would call that an unfair advantage. In Congress, it's just business as usual. We like to think elected officials will act in the public's best interest. But let's be honest, when millions of dollars are at stake, that trust starts to crumble. And here's the wild part. The same people regulating markets are trading in them, often using insider knowledge from the laws they are writing. In this game, knowledge isn't just power, it's straight up profit. The Stock Act, all talk, no bite. Back in 2012, everyone was outraged over congressional insider trading. So lawmakers passed the Stock Act to make things more transparent. The idea was simple. Politicians had to disclose their stock trades within 45 days. Sounds great, right? Well, not really. The whole thing was more for show than actual change. Break the rules? You get slapped with a $200 fine. Basically the cost of a nice lunch in DC. Oh, and here's the kicker. Lawmakers can still own and trade individual stocks. So conflict of interest are baked right into the system. Violations happen all the time. And guess what? Almost nobody gets called out for it. So, did the Stock Act solve anything? Not even close. It's just a shiny distraction. Profiting from privilege. The stories they don't want you to remember. Let's be real. These aren't just honest mistakes. The real inside advantage doesn't come from some genius hedge fund strategy. It's all about political privilege. And that's a system in serious need of fixing. Take Senator Richard Burr, for example. He gets a confidential COVID-19 briefing, then boom, sells off stocks worth between $628,000 and $1.72 million in February 2020. Oh, and funny enough, his brother-in-law also sold shares the exact same day. Was he investigated? Sure. Charged? Nope. Then there's Senator Kelly Loeffler. Same pandemic, same insider advantage. After a Senate COVID briefing, she and her husband made 27 stock trades, dumping airline stocks while buying shares in telework companies. She denied any wrongdoing. And surprise, no charges there either. Now, Representative Chris Collins, he didn't get so lucky. He tipped off his son about bad trial results for a biotech company, and they both dumped shares before the news broke. This time, there were actual consequences. He got caught, convicted, and sentenced to 26 months in prison. One of the rare cases where someone didn't walk away scot-free. And let's not forget Paul Pelosi, Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband. His trading history has raised a lot of eyebrows, especially when his wins just happened to line up perfectly with legislative timing. Like betting on tech stocks under antitrust scrutiny. No laws broken, but the optics, yikes. Throw in recent trading patterns from folks like Tommy Tuberville and Dan Crenshaw and other lawmakers making conveniently timed plays on defense and tech stocks, and you start seeing the bigger picture. This isn't about red or blue, it's all about green. Behind the curtain, how they really do it. Here's how they keep their trades under the radar. Spouses file taxes separately. Assets are in blind trusts that aren't really blind. Family members make trades that seem way too perfectly timed. Disclosures, they're late, if they even happen. And when people start paying attention, the trades just get sneakier. They shift to ETFs, index funds, anything that flies under the radar. But let's be honest, the advantage doesn't go away. It just gets harder to spot. Retail traders get burned. When you miss a trade, you lose money. When they miss a disclosure, they pay a fine that's basically the cost of a fancy dinner in Manhattan. No wonder retail traders are throwing in the towel. It's painfully obvious the system is set up to benefit the insiders. The Stock Act was supposed to fix this mess. But let's be real, enforcement is a joke and accountability is non-existent. Disclosures are constantly late and no one faces real consequences. Lawmakers just blame their staff or shrug it off. And those blind trusts, please, most aren't actually blind. They still get updates about their portfolios without real rules, like mandatory divestment or true independent management. Conflicts of interest don't disappear. They just go underground. Even the lawmakers pushing for reform aren't clean. Take Representative Rob Presnahan. He's made 357 trades worth $4 million this year, all while supporting a bill to stop this exact behavior. Make it make sense. The push for reform. Every few months, there's a shiny new reform bill making headlines. Tweets blow up. Everyone's talking about it. Seems promising, right? But when it's time for action, votes, decisions, what's happening? Nothing. Delays, excuses, and more political theater. Take the Trust Act, for example. It's supposed to stop lawmakers and their spouses from trading individual stocks. Sounds like a no-brainer, doesn't it? But here's the catch. It doesn't have enough support, and there's quite resistance behind the scenes. That's where Ban the Trade PAC steps in. They're holding lawmakers accountable, tracking their stock trades, and running ads to turn up the heat. It's a grassroots effort that's making noise, just not as quickly as we would all hope. Meanwhile, public is all in on this idea. Polls show that people on both sides of the aisle agree Congress shouldn't be trading stocks. So why hasn't anything changed yet? Good question. The system isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed. Ever wonder why your trades flop while theirs always hit? Maybe it's not your strategy, maybe it's the playing field. They're betting with better information and fewer consequences. At Online Trading Campus, we're here to help you build real skills to create your own edge. No shortcuts, no games, but let's be honest, the real edge isn't on your charts, it's in Washington. Until the rules finally change, the best thing you can do is stay informed. Knowledge is your best weapon. Political insider trading is a huge problem. It destroys public trust and sends a terrible message to future generations that public service is just about personal gain. Without transparency, people lose faith in the whole system. So, what's the fix? Mandatory divestment, real blind trust, strict enforcement, daily disclosure. Accountability isn't asking too much. It's the bare minimum. Thanks for watching and joining me in shining a light on the messy side of politics and finance. If this video gave you something to think about, don't just scroll past. Like it, share it, speak up. Because the best way to clean things up in politics is to let a little sunlight in.